this is the list of most commonly used functions in Excel, and this list is prepared as per the information available in the website of Microsoft. Now one more list, which is a personal one, list of top 10 Excel functions which I have been using for a decade. As you can see, there are 5 functions in common. After combining both, we have a list of 15 functions, and all these functions will be explained in this video. First one is sum function. Sum function is used to find out the sum of values in a cell or a range of cells. It can be an individual value, a cell reference, or a range of cells. We'll start with sum of individual values equal sum function 57, 68, 43, and the result is 168. Now using cell references equal sum function C10, D10, E10. Now using range reference equal sum function C10 to E10. Here in Home tab, you can find the button for AutoSum. One more shortcut for AutoSum, holding the Alt key, press equal. If function is used to test a specific condition and return the value based on that. We will see the use of if function using a typical example. Here we have the list of marks scored by a candidate. Minimum mark to pass the exam is 60, and we will analyze the marks scored using if condition. Equal if function. Click on insert function. First parameter is logical test. Here we have to specify the condition F10 greater than or equal to D9. Now the second parameter, value if true, let it be pass. That means if the condition turns out to be true, the function will return the value pass. Now the third parameter, value if false, let it be fail. If the condition turns out to be false, the function will return the value fail. Here the value in the cell F10, 66 is greater than 60. So the condition is evaluated as true and the function will return the value pass. We'll make this cell reference absolute. We'll drag the formula downward to the adjacent cells. Now I will change the minimum mark to 40. The condition changed, and every cell corresponding to the cell having mark greater than 40 will display the remark pass. Concatenate function is used to join several text items into one text item. I am going to join the text items present in the cells C9, D9 and E9 equal concatenate function C9, D9, E9, and we have joined the text into Excel and CAT. To add a space in between equal concatenate function C10, double quotes space N space double quotes E10, double quotes space 2019 double quotes, and the function returned the text Excel and CAT 2019. Count function returns the count of numbers present in a dataset or a range of cells. For finding out the number of cells containing numbers in the range D9 to E13 equal count function D9 to E13. Now with a range of cells, number of cells containing numbers in the range C9 to E13 equal count C9 to C13, D9 to D13, E9 to E13. Now I will delete a number from this range and the function returned the value 9. And if I delete this text employee 4 from this range, the value in cell H9 will remain the same. That means count function will ignore numbers specified along with text. COUNTIF function is used to find out the number of cells meeting a specific criteria. Here we have the list of structures for a particular highway project. For finding out the total number of box culverts in this list, I will use COUNTIF function. Equal COUNTIF function. First parameter is range. This is the range of cells where the condition is to be evaluated. In our case, criteria, otherwise condition, is box culvert, and it is to be evaluated in the cells from D10 to D19. Now the criteria is box culvert. Select the cell G10. Total number of box culverts in the list is 5. Before copying the formula to the adjacent cells, I will log the range references. And now we have the total number for every type of structure in the list. SUMIF function is used to find out the sum of cells meeting a specific criteria. Here we have a list of structures along with corresponding length. For finding out the total length of box culverts in this list, I will use SUMIF function. Equal SUMIF. First parameter range. This is the range of cells where the criteria is evaluated. In our case, box culvert is the criteria, and this is to be evaluated in the cells from D10 to D19. Now the criteria. Our criteria is box culvert. Select the cell G10. Now the sum range, the range of cells containing the length of structures. So the sum range will be the cells from E10 to E19. And the total length of box culverts is 25. Before copying the formula to adjacent cells, I will log the range references. Drag the formula to the downward cells. Now we have the total length for each type of structure in the list. Datedif function is used to calculate the difference between two dates in days, months, or years. For finding out the difference between start and end dates listed in these columns, I will use Datedif function. Equal Datedif. Start date is the first parameter. Select B11. End date is the second parameter. Select C11. Then the unit. Here we want the difference in days. So the third parameter will be D, double quotes, D, double quotes. Now the difference in months. For returning the difference in months, M should be the third parameter. And we have the difference of dates in months. Now the difference in years. Here the third parameter will be Y. And we have the difference of dates in years. One of the most practical application of Datedif function is age calculation. Equal Datedif E17, comma, then today function, comma, double quotes Y, double quotes. And we have calculated the age based on date of birth. VLOOKUP function is used to find a specific value in the first column of a table and return a value in the same row from the specified column. Here in this list, we have the details of some employees. For finding out the details corresponding to a particular employee code, we can use VLOOKUP function. For example, I want to return the employee name and department listed against the employee code XNC file. Equal VLOOKUP function. First parameter lookup value will be XNC file. Select the cell I10. Then the table array. The range of cells from B11 to F20 will form the table array. Then the column index. These are the column indexes of our table array from B11 to F20. 2 is the column index for the column for employee name. and false for an exact match. And VLOOKUP function return the value messy against the lookup value XNC file. I will make the cell references absolute. The same formula with a simple modification can be used for returning the value in the column for department. For returning a value from the column for department, column index should be 4. Match function is used to find the numeric position of an item in a list. Here we have the list of first 10 Greek numerical prefixes for finding out the position of hexa in this list. Equal match function. First parameter lookup value. Select the cell E12 containing the value hexa, then lookup array. Range of cells from A10 to A19 will be the lookup array. Now the third parameter 0 for an exact match. The function returned the value 6. And if I change the value in E12 to hepta, the value returned is 7. Match function will work in the horizontal direction too. So let us check the position of Earth in this list in horizontal direction. Equal match function. Lookup value will be E16. Lookup array will be E10 to L10. 0 for an exact match. As Earth is in the third position, function returned the value 3. Index function is used to find out the value in an array or a range of cells using its position in the array. Here we have the marks scored by 5 different candidates for 4 different subjects. We will see the example for a one-dimensional array. For finding out the marks scored by candidate 3 for the subject science. Marks corresponding to candidate 3 are in the row 3. So row number will be 3. Equal index function. We have to specify the array. E11 to E15 will become the array. Then the second parameter row number. Select the cell item containing the value 3. And the function returned the value 90. Now the example for two-dimensional array. Marks scored by candidate 2 for the subject marks. Equal index function. Array will be C11 to F15. Row number is 2. Same is the column number 2. And the value returned is 47. By changing the row and column numbers, we can extract values at each and every position in the array. Date function is used to create a valid Excel date using individual year, month, and day components. Equal date function. Specify the year 2019 in the cell C9, then the month 2 in the cell D9, then the day 1 in the cell F9. And the function returned the date 1st of February 2019. For changing the format, right click and format cells. Days function is used to find out the number of days between two dates. To find out the difference between these dates listed here, equal days. First parameter end date, select the cell D10, then the start date C10. And we have the difference between dates in days. Find function is used to locate the position of a text string inside another text string. If I want to find out the position of the letter A in the text, excellent cat equal find function. First parameter find text will be A. Then the second parameter within text, it will be excellent cat. And the function returned the value 7. Third parameter of find function can be used to start searching from a certain position. For example, the second capital A in the name Ajay Anand equal find function. First parameter find text will be A. Then the second parameter within text Ajay Anand. Now the third parameter start number. If find function starts searching for capital A from the beginning of Ajay Anand, it will return the value 1. So we have to tell the function to ignore the first capital A and start searching from position 2. So third parameter will be 2. And the function returned the value 6. Now we will make use of the case sensitive nature of find function to find the text small letter A N in Ajay Anand equal find function. First parameter find text will be AN in small letters. Then second parameter within text Ajay Anand. And the function returned the value 8. Choose function returns a value from a list using a given position or index. Here we have the list of some Excel functions. We will see how to use choose function to return the value at a particular position in this list. Here date is listed in the 4th position. Equal choose. First parameter index number. Select the cell C9. Then value 1, value 2 up to the end of the list. When I change the value to 1, the function will return the value sum from the list. Lookup function is used when you need to look in a single row or a column and find a value from the same position in another row or column. Here we have a list of countries and corresponding ISO and country codes. For finding out the corresponding country code of Japan, equal lookup function. First parameter lookup value. Select the cell G10 containing the value Japan. Second parameter lookup vector will be the range of cells containing countries C10 to C14. Result vector will be the range of cells containing country codes E10 to E14. The function returned the value 81. Now the example using lookup and result vectors in rows. For finding out the ISO code corresponding to the country code 52 from this table below, equal lookup value. Select the cell G11 containing the value 52. Lookup vector will be the range of cells containing country codes D18 to H18. Result vector will be the range of cells containing ISO codes D17 to H17. And the function returned the value MEX. Individual videos on every function introduced in this session is available in this channel. For feedback and discussion, please make use of the comment section. And those who are visiting this channel for the first time, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you won't miss any video releases. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.